So you're thinking about a career in physiotherapy? Well, you've definitely come to the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into the University of Salford's program and really see what makes it such a fantastic choice. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, let's kick things off with a quick question. When I say physiotherapist, what's the first image that pops into your head? I bet for a lot of you, it's something to do with sports, right? Maybe an athlete on the side of a pitch getting treatment, but is that really the whole story?
Oh, not by a long shot. I mean, sure, you'll absolutely find physios on the football pitch, but then you have the complete other end of the spectrum. We're talking about the intensive care unit. Yeah, the ICU, where physios are literally helping people who are in the fight of their lives. It just goes to show you how huge and how often misunderstood this profession really is.
All right, so that's the perfect lead into our first section. Let's really get into what a physiotherapist is. And trust me, it's way more than you think.
Okay, so here's the official definition. At its core, physiotherapy is all about science. And physios have this massive toolkit. You know, they use everything from movement and exercise to hands-on manual therapy and even just simple education and advice. And the whole point? It's all about helping people get their independence back and empowering them to really take charge of their own health.
And check this out. This is where it gets really interesting. Where do they actually work? Well, you've got the obvious ones, right? Hospitals and sports clubs. But look at this list. Schools, in people's own homes, private practices, even judicial courts. Who would have thought? It's not just a career. It's kind of like a passport that lets you work in just about any community you can imagine.
And if you want a real-world example of the kind of impact a physio can have, this is it. It's an incredible story. Back in 2012, the footballer Fabrice Muamba had a cardiac arrest right there on the pitch. And the very first person to get to him? The team physio, Andy Mitchell. And get this, he actually went on to become a lecturer at Salford. His quick thinking, his skills, they were absolutely critical in saving Muamba's life. I mean, that's physiotherapy at its most intense, its most life-saving.
So yeah, the stakes are high and the job is incredibly important. Which brings us to the next part. How does Salford get you ready for all of that? Let's take a look at the Salford student journey, from the lecture hall all the way to the clinic.
So how's it all structured? It's a 3-year journey, and it's really well thought out. Your first year, Level 4, is all about getting the fundamentals down, mastering the basics. You even get your first taste of the real world with a 3-week placement. Then in Level 5, you start to specialize, diving into areas like neurology and getting 2 serious 6-week placements. By Level 6, you're ready for the big stuff, tackling complex cases, doing research, and wrapping it all up with 2 final placements. By the end, you're absolutely ready for a job.
But you know, it's not all about the coursework. There's a real sense of community here, and this quote really proves it. It's from a lecturer talking about a first-year student, Sam. He was 10,000 kilometers from home in Hong Kong on his 19th birthday, so his classmates threw him a surprise party. That little story just says everything about the kind of supportive, tight-knit family you become a part of at Salford. Okay, so we've covered what a physio really does, and we've walked through the student journey at Salford. So now for the big question, why Salford? Let's dig into the proof and see what makes this program a real standout.
Look, let's be clear. Any physio program in the UK is gonna be good. The standard is really high, but some just have that extra something. Kind of like Rocky, you know?
And you don't just have to take my word for it. Look at the numbers. The national rankings are, well, they're incredible. We're talking first in England in the Guardian University Guide, first in the Northwest for student satisfaction, and first in England for teaching quality. I mean, come on. Those results really do speak for themselves.
And the places this degree can take you, it's kind of mind-blowing. The list of alumni is just so cool and diverse. Yeah, you've got your champion athletes and Olympians. That makes sense. But a Sky Sports pundit? A contestant from The Voice? Seriously? It just proves that the skills you build with a physio degree from Salford can literally take you anywhere you want to go.
So, are you feeling pumped? I hope so, because now we're getting to the really important bit, the practical stuff. Let's talk about how you can actually get a place on this program and what you need to do to make your application shine. Okay, before we go any further, I really want you to take a look at this quote. It's from Dr. Stuart Porter. He's the admissions tutor. He's openly saying it took him 3 tries to pass English and 2 tries for his A-levels. Think about that. The guy in charge of admissions is telling you about his own struggles. What does that tell you? It tells you they're not just looking for straight A students. They are looking for people with resilience, with grit, people who know how to get back up when they're knocked down. So what is the secret sauce? What are they really looking for? Well, here it is. It's all about empathy,
communication, being a team player. Those are the big ones. And pay close attention to this one right here. Knowledge of the profession, not just sports. They want to see that you get it, that you understand that physiotherapy is so much bigger than just a sports field.
And you've got options for how you want to study, which is great. You can go for the intensive 3-year full-time course, or if you need a bit more flexibility, there's a 4-year part-time program. So there are different routes to get you to the same amazing destination.
Which really just leaves one last question, doesn't it? After seeing the impact, the journey, and the opportunity, are you ready to be someone who makes a real, tangible difference in people's lives?
I'm just going to leave you with this one final thought because it's so powerful. Whosoever saves a life saves the world entire. And you know what? Physiotherapy is one of those rare professions where you genuinely have the chance to do that. The potential is always there. If you feel like this is your path, if you're ready to start, all the contact info you need is right there on your screen. Get in touch with them. Thanks so much for joining me.